I just finished my first flight of the day in Baltimore, Maryland, and I have a little bit of extra time at the airport before my next flight, so let's call some of my friends across the country and see what they're up to.
Hi Morgan, what's up?
Hey Dan, I'm in Baltimore waiting for my next flight. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks for asking.
Where are you? What time is it there?
It's 10 a.m. in Dallas.
Oh, what are you up to?
I'm about to leave my hotel for Love Field Airport to begin my day of flying.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, do you know if John's flying today too?
We should ask John what he's up to. Let's give him a call.
Yeah, let's give John a call. Do that right now.
Hey Morgan, hey Dan, you called me at a perfect time.
Hey John, that's awesome that we caught you, but why is it a perfect time?
Just dropped the kids off for their first day of school here in Salt Lake City at 9 a.m.
Good.
We're almost late because of this guy. He decided to run around the block once or twice and we had to go catch him.
Oh wow, that sounds really exciting. What else are you up to?
When the kids get ready for school, I get ready for work also. I'm about to get ready for a 3-day trip.
Oh, good.
I'm flying with a fantastic first officer. She is awesome. We've flown other trips together, and I cannot wait for this trip to start.
That's amazing. We're flying today too and having great trips, but we'll talk to you later, John. Bye.
Morning, Morgan.
I had a little bit extra time and thought I'd call.
It's so great and nice of you to call us before your trip, Morgan. Looks like you've been up for a while. I'm still working on my 8 a.m. cup of coffee. It's my favorite way to start the day.
Mine too, but that was a couple of hours ago. What's for breakfast?
I think I'll have some scrambled eggs and toast today, so I should start cooking them soon. Yeah, I'm always hungry in the morning.
Me too. Well, you should go ahead and get going so you can have breakfast before your trip. Bye, Dave.
Oh my gosh, it's great to hear from you.
It's good to talk to you too.
I'm actually in Hawaii, so it's like, let me see, 5 a.m.?
Oh no,
You woke me up.
I'm so sorry, Wendy. I completely forgot about the time zones.
Oh, that's okay. You didn't know.
Let me make it up to you next time I'm out in Hawaii. We can go surfing together.
I hope you have a great day.
You too, Wendy.
I'll look forward to going surfing with you when I see you, Morgan.
Definitely. Go back to sleep. Bye, Wendy. So, are you curious why all my friends were doing slightly different things, even though I called them all at the same time? Well, it's because they're in cities across the United States and in different time zones. Have you ever heard of time zones? I completely forgot all about them whenever I called my friends, but they're very important. Time zones were created because of the Earth's rotation. Because the Earth rotates around the sun, only one portion of the Earth gets sunlight at a time. So time zones help to regulate day and night across the world. Without them, sunrise might be as early as 3 in the morning at some places. In total, there are 6 time zones across the United States and they move from east to west. If you're with me in Baltimore, Maryland on the East Coast, you're in the Eastern time zone. Other cities in the Eastern time zone include New York City, Washington, D.C., and Orlando, Florida. As you move west from the Eastern time zone, you enter the Central time zone. That's where my friend Dan in Dallas, Texas was. Other cities in the Central time zone include Chicago, Nashville, and New Orleans. After you leave the Central time zone, you enter the Mountain time zone. That's where my friend John was. If you were in Salt Lake City, Denver, or Albuquerque, you would also be in the Mountain time zone. As you come to the Pacific coast of the United States, you enter the Pacific time zone. That's where my friend Dave in San Diego was. Other cities in the Pacific time zone include Seattle, San Francisco, and Las Vegas. And finally, after the Pacific time zone, you have the Alaskan and then the Hawaiian time zones. Do you remember when we woke my friend Wendy up in Hawaii? That's because she was in the Hawaiian time zone, where it's much earlier than where I am in the Eastern time zone. Because the Earth rotates not only around the sun, but also on its own axis, only certain parts of the Earth get sunlight at certain times of the day. So if it's daylight where you are, that means that it's nighttime somewhere else. For example, a student in Hawaii may just be starting their school day at 9 o'clock in the morning when the sky is bright, while another student in the Eastern time zone, let's say in Atlanta, Georgia, is finishing their school day at 2 p.m. and the sun will be setting shortly. In the end, time zones help everyone around the world have a little bit of daylight while they go to school and work. But now it's time for me to go to work, so why don't you come along on my trip as I leave Baltimore and fly to St. Louis and end up in Denver tonight. Hello again and welcome to Denver, Colorado, everybody. Just like we talked about earlier in the video, today I flew from Baltimore, Maryland to St. Louis, Missouri, and finally ended up in Denver, Colorado. But just because I'm done flying today does not mean the airline's done. Southwest operates over 3,000 flights a day to more than 100 destinations. So why don't you check out some of the places that we fly to while I go enjoy my Denver overnight and get ready to fly again tomorrow. Good morning from Los Angeles, California, everybody. We made it here after operating just one flight today from Denver, Colorado to Los Angeles. And if you look at our trip sheet, it looks like the flight only took 1 hour and 50 minutes, but in actuality, it took closer to 3 hours. Why the difference? Time zones. California is mostly in the Pacific time zone and Colorado is in the Mountain time zone. Now that I've spent the night in Los Angeles, California, it's time to do our last day of the trip together and fly from Los Angeles to Honolulu, Hawaii. We should get to Hawaii around 11 a.m., which will give me plenty of time to have lunch and go surfing with my friend Wendy. And also apologize for waking her up way too early the other morning, all because of time zones.